You think you know the Vikings, huh? Raiders, pillagers, wild men of the sea. Yeah, that was part of it. But there was more to these people than just war. They lived and breathed the rhythms of the earth, felt the pulse of the seasons in their bones. Winter was harsh in the north, unforgiving, but summer was a time for the gods, a time for festivals and sacrifices, for honoring the old ways and giving thanks for the light. The Vikings, they understood something we've forgotten. They knew the world was alive, filled with spirits and forces we can barely comprehend. And they knew how to appease those forces, how to live within the natural order. This is the story of their summer rituals, the celebrations and sacrifices that marked the turning of the year. It's a journey into the heart of Viking belief, a glimpse into a world both brutal and beautiful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to join us on more journeys into the past. The Viking calendar didn't start the year in January. Unlike our modern calendar, which begins in the cold, dark days of January, the Viking year was divided quite differently. Their calendar was a reflection of their environment and their way of life, deeply intertwined with the natural world and the cycles of the seasons. It split time between winter and summer. This division was not just a matter of convenience, but a fundamental aspect of their existence. Winter, with its harsh, unforgiving cold, was a time of survival, while summer brought warmth, growth, and the promise of new beginnings. And the arrival of summer around mid-April was marked by one of the most important and blood-soaked festivals of all, Sigrblót, the victory sacrifice. Winter was over. This festival was a time of great significance, a moment when the community came together to celebrate the end of the long, dark winter and to prepare for the challenges and opportunities of the coming summer. The long nights were receding. The darkness that had enveloped the land for months was giving way to the light of longer days. This transition was not just a physical change, but a symbolic one, representing hope, renewal, and the promise of new life. But the coming battles, the raids and conquests that defined the Vikings, those were never far from mind. The Vikings were a warrior people, and the summer months were a time of action, of setting out on raids and conquests, of seeking glory and wealth in distant lands. Sigrblót was a time to prepare, to offer tribute to the gods of war and secure their favor in the coming fights. The rituals performed during this festival were meant to ensure that the gods would look kindly upon the Vikings, granting them strength and success in their endeavors. Imagine the scene, a bonfire roaring under the pale spring sky, the air thick with the smell of roasting meat and something else, something metallic. The fire crackles and pops, sending sparks into the air while the community gathers around, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. Animals were sacrificed, their blood sprinkled on the fields to ensure a bountiful harvest, their flesh cooked and consumed in a ritual feast. This act of sacrifice was both a practical and a spiritual one, meant to appease the gods and to ensure the fertility of the land. But Sigrblót wasn't just about food and fortune in battle. It was a time of community, of coming together to celebrate and to strengthen the bonds that held them together. The festival was a reminder of their shared identity and their collective strength. It was about the delicate balance between life and death, victory and defeat. The Vikings understood that life was fragile and that every victory came with its own risks and costs. This awareness was woven into the fabric of their culture and their rituals. It was a reminder that every triumph came at a cost, and the gods always demanded their due. The sacrifices made during Sigrblót were a way of acknowledging this reality, of paying homage to the gods and ensuring their continued favor. The blood of spring was not just a literal offering, but a symbol of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth that defined the Viking world. By June, the North experiences something few parts of the world ever see: days that never end. The sun lingers on the horizon, refusing to set. The Vikings called this sacred time Midsummer. After months of darkness, the endless daylight was a cause for celebration. It was a time for revelry, for feasting and drinking, for dancing under the midnight sun. Midsummer was a moment of pure joy, a celebration of life and light, a time to forget the hardships of winter and embrace the warmth of the season. Imagine the scene, mead halls echoing with laughter and song, bonfires blazing throughout the night, casting dancing shadows on the faces of revelers. The air would have been thick with the smell of roasting meat, the sweet scent of wildflowers, and the tang of salt air. Midsummer was a time for love and courtship. Young men and women would dance and sing together, their hearts alight with the promise of summer. It was a time for new beginnings, for casting off the old and embracing the new. The long days of summer in the north. The sun, a golden orb, lingered in the sky, casting its warm glow over the rugged landscapes. It was a time when the days stretched endlessly and the nights were but a fleeting shadow. The northern regions, bathed in this perpetual daylight, came alive with a unique vibrancy. They weren't just for feasts and sacrifice. These gatherings were a tapestry of life, woven with threads of tradition, honor, and community. The feasts were grand, with tables laden with the bounty of the land and sea. Sacrificial rituals, solemn and sacred, were performed to honor the gods and seek their favor. No, these were also times for journeys, for setting sail on the vast, uncharted waters. The Vikings, with their indomitable spirit, embarked on voyages that would take them to distant shores. Their ships, sleek and sturdy, cut through the waves like arrows, driven by the wind and the strength of their oarsmen. For forging bonds that ran deeper than blood, and for settling scores, for the law of the Norse, it ran as deep and strong as any fjord. These were moments when warriors, bound by honor and loyalty, came together to reaffirm their commitments. Disputes were settled, alliances were forged, and the fabric of their society was strengthened. For the law of the Norse, it ran as deep and strong as any fjord. The laws, passed down through generations, were the backbone of their society. They were not just rules, but a way of life, guiding every action and decision. The fjords, with their majestic beauty and formidable presence, were a fitting symbol of this enduring strength. This was the season of the Þing, a time when the clans gathered to discuss matters of great importance. The Þing was more than just a meeting. It was a celebration of their shared heritage and a reaffirmation of their collective identity. Think of it like a giant moot, a gathering of minds and hearts, where every voice had a chance to be heard. It was a democratic assembly where decisions were made through consensus and debate. The chiefs, with their wisdom and experience, led the discussions, but every warrior had a say. A gathering of clans from across the land. From the frozen peaks to the salty shores, they came to these assemblies. It was a time of great movement as families and warriors traveled long distances to be part of this grand event. The journey itself was a testament to their determination and commitment. From the frozen peaks to the salty shores, they came to these assemblies. The mountains with their snow-capped summits and the coastal villages with their bustling harbors were all represented. Each clan brought its unique traditions and stories, adding to the rich tapestry of the Þing. They came to these assemblies. The fields were dotted with tents and the shores lined with ships. It was a sight to behold, a testament to the unity and strength of the Viking people. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter, debate, and the clinking of weapons. You'd see jarls with eyes as hard as ice, their gazes piercing and unyielding. These leaders, chosen for their wisdom and strength, commanded respect and authority. Their presence was a reminder of the power and responsibility that came with leadership. Their beards thick with salt spray. The warriors, hardened by the sea and the elements, bore the marks of their journeys. Their beards, crusted with salt, were a testament to their resilience and endurance. And their women, just as fierce, with braids like woven gold. The women of the Vikings were warriors in their own right, strong and determined. Their braids, intricate and beautiful, were a symbol of their strength and grace, with braids like woven gold. Each braid told a story, a testament to their heritage and their role in the community. The women, with their fierce determination and unwavering spirit, were the backbone of their society. The Þing, it wasn't some stuffy meeting hall, no. Picture this open air, the sky a vast dome above them. The assembly was held in the heart of nature, under the open sky. It was a reminder of their connection to the land and the elements. The sky a vast dome above them. The sky with its ever-changing hues was a constant presence, a witness to their deliberations and decisions. It was a symbol of the vastness and the possibilities that lay before them. Maybe a grove of ancient trees, their roots running as deep as the history of the clans gathered there. The trees with their gnarled branches and deep roots were a living testament to the passage of time and the continuity of their traditions. Their roots running as deep as the history of the clans gathered there. The assembly, held under the canopy of these ancient trees, was a powerful reminder of their shared history and the bonds that united them. Or by the crashing waves, the sea a constant reminder of the power that surged through their veins. The sea, with its relentless energy and untamed beauty, was a fitting backdrop for their gatherings. It was a reminder of their seafaring heritage and the strength that lay within them. The sea a constant reminder of the power that surged through their veins. The warriors, standing by the shore, felt the pull of the sea, a call to adventure and exploration. It was a reminder of the vast world that lay beyond the horizon. Fires burning day and night, casting flickering shadows on weathered faces. The campfires with their warm glow were a gathering point, a place where stories were shared and bonds were strengthened, casting flickering shadows on weathered faces. The firelight danced on the faces of the warriors, highlighting their scars and the lines etched by time and experience. It was a moment of reflection and camaraderie, the smell of roasting meat, of ale brewed strong enough to knock a berserker on his arse. The air was filled with the rich aroma of roasting meat and the hearty laughter of the warriors. The ale, brewed to perfection, was a testament to their skill and craftsmanship. Of ale brewed strong enough to knock a berserker on his arse. Music, tales of daring raids, laughter that echoed across the plains. The feasts were a celebration of life, filled with music, stories of bravery and laughter that echoed across the plains. It was a time to honor their past and look forward to the future. Laughter that echoed across the plains. The laughter, a sound of pure joy and camaraderie, was a reminder of the bonds that united them. It was a celebration of their shared heritage and the strength of their community. The Þing, it was life itself, pulsing with raw energy. It was a vibrant, dynamic gathering, filled with the energy and spirit of the Viking people. It was a celebration of their past, a reaffirmation of their present, and a promise of their future. August. The sun, she still holds strong, but you can feel the days shortening, a different kind of heat on your face. The endless green of the field starts to shift, whispers of gold and red appearing at the edges. This is the time of Freyfaxi, named for Freyr, the giver of good harvest. He's a god who understands the rhythm of the earth, the balance of taking and giving. The air, it starts to cool, shadows grow longer. You can feel summer slipping away like a ship sailing over the horizon. This is the time of Álfablót, the elf sacrifice. Now the elves, they ain't like those sparkly winged things you hear about in stories. They're ancient, powerful beings close to the earth, tied to the land, to the spirits of nature. They can be helpful, or they can be unpredictable. The Viking summer, a time when the sun lingered in the sky, casting long shadows over the fjords and valleys. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant hum of bees. It was a season of life, growth and renewal. It wasn't all about raids and battles, blood and plunder. The Viking summer was a time of peace and prosperity, where the community came together to celebrate the bounty of the land and the blessings of the gods. Families gathered, children played, and the village thrived in the warmth of the sun. It was a cycle, woven together by these ancient festivals. Each festival had its own unique traditions and rituals, passed down through generations. They were a tapestry of culture and belief, binding the community together in a shared heritage. From the fires of Sigrblót, where warriors and farmers alike offered sacrifices to ensure a bountiful harvest and victory in battle, to the whispered prayers of Álfablót, a more intimate and personal ceremony, where individuals sought the favor of the elves and spirits of the land. They marked the passing of time, the turning of the seasons. Each festival was a milestone, a reminder of the cyclical nature of life and the ever-changing world around them. The turning of the seasons brought new challenges and opportunities. The festivals were a way to prepare for these changes, to seek guidance and blessings from the gods. They were a way to connect with the gods, with the land, with each other. Through these rituals, the Vikings reaffirmed their place in the world and their relationship with the divine. A reminder that even the fiercest warriors paused to honor something greater. In the midst of their conquests and adventures, they took time to reflect, to give thanks, and to seek wisdom. The Viking summer was more than war and waves. It was a time of spiritual renewal, a season of connection and community. The long days and warm nights provided the perfect backdrop for these sacred traditions. It was a spiritual cycle, a series of rituals that bound people to gods, to land, and to each other. These ceremonies were the heartbeat of Viking life, a rhythm that pulsed through the community, a series of rituals that bound people to gods, to land, and to each other. They called for victory, danced in the light, argued in the courts, thanked the earth. They called for victory, danced in the light, argued in the courts, thanked the earth, and whispered to the hidden ones. Each act was a thread in the fabric of their society, a testament to their beliefs and values, and whispered to the hidden ones. These quiet moments of reflection and prayer were just as important as the grand celebrations. They were a way to seek guidance, to find peace, and to honor the unseen forces that shaped their world. These festivals weren't just events, they were the lifeblood of Viking society. They were a time to come together, to celebrate, to mourn, to give thanks, and to seek blessings. They were a way to connect with the past, to honor the present, and to look forward to the future. A reminder that even the fiercest warriors paused to honor something greater. In the midst of their conquests and adventures, they took time to reflect, to give thanks, and to seek wisdom. If this journey through Viking summer sparked your curiosity, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a skull in the comments. Join us as we continue to explore the rich tapestry of Viking life and culture, and drop a skull in the comments. Your support helps us bring more of these stories to life, and we look forward to sharing more with you. New myths and legends await you every week, stories of gods and heroes, of battles and journeys, of love and loss. Each tale is a window into the world of the Vikings, a glimpse into their lives and beliefs. Until then, may the gods smile upon your path. May you find strength in their stories, wisdom in their words, and inspiration in their deeds. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Viking summer.